Oh, look what's in my driveway, okay? This is the Range Rover L405 for my friend Steffen. And he's actually using his Range Rover in the intended use case because he's a lawyer, okay? And it got some sort of a weird noise, and we're gonna check this out together, right? Let me first check your knuckles before I get in there. They are not gonna get in some death trap from a lawyer. Okay. I die and I get sued. Now I trust the lawyer, especially if he's your friend. It's safe, we can get in this car, okay?
You want to check out my new engine?
You have a new, oh yeah, you got a new engine.
You haven't told me.
Yes. How many Ks?
60K, and the engine failed.
And Land Rover replaced it because obviously because of your job
sued.
description.
No.
As a courtesy, yeah. Oh, let's better replace that engine.
Yeah, he's got the trash bag in here also.
The trash bag
It's a
problem,
trash bag
okay?
problem.
So
Oh my
if
God.
this trash bag gets loose, it wanders up over the intake and then it gets sucked
yeah.
on here and you get a performance error. And if you don't know that, okay, and you take your car to Land Rover, they're gonna replace the mass airflow sensor, components in the intake, two new turbochargers, an EGR valve, couple of bypass valves. So better check this trash bag, that's really important.
Yeah, it took Christian also 4 videos to find the problem.
Quickly look under this thing here
Yes.
to make sure they didn't put the engine in backwards or something.
Oh, come on, Christian, you got old man strengths.
You use some force on that one.
Wow. You would have not be able to open this.
No, because I'm a lawyer. I have any power.
A brand new engine, how long do you have it now?
2 months.
First see if it's leaking down here. Not leaking there. Okay. Where else do we usually see issues? Oil leaking here somewhere? I hope I find the oil leak now, of course. What the hell is this?
Yes.
It says read the instruction manual before pull it.
The nitro injection.
I think if I pull this now and then read the instruction manual, it says in there, don't pull.
Don't pull.
So all the plastic pieces are on, so they didn't screw this up. What did you have as a rental car? A Discovery 5.
First I had a Velar, which wasn't good.
Wasn't good.
Then I had the Disco, the new one, the big one, which was great. Good car.
And how long did it overall take?
Happened in October and we got the car back early January.
Yes, but the car was lost for a couple of weeks, I think. It was a tow truck driver who didn't speak any German, just dropped it off somewhere, but not where it was supposed to be dropped off. And Steffen had an air tag. That's what his wife told me.
My dog has one too.
Yes, I have one in every bag and every car now
Kids,
too.
we implanted in the kids.
Yes,
This car is basically not run in.
okay.
The noise is when he steers, when it's standing. Oh. Holy cow, what was that? I would say that's the electric power steering.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But I got no experience with that. Oh yeah. It has an electric power steering and it sounds like it's making noise right out of this unit. So you guys let us know if this is known on the L405, this kind of noise. Maybe Simon knows.
Yes, or did they f it up? Did they mess it up while they installed the engine?
We're gonna pump it up into off-road height. Okay, this is when Toyota drivers need to get their jacks out now. I'm sorry if I'm hitting on Toyota drivers, okay? We really like Toyota drivers, and we also like that new Toyota. I forgot what the name is, some what cruiser. Well, it could be a ball joint. It could be a ball joint. I have to get my stethoscope.
You probably find the problems. No, the problem is definitely underneath the skid plate. So we're on the other side now.
No. 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 I listened to the electric power steering motor, to all joints, sway bar, everything. I can't locate it, but it's clicking over the car all over.
Yeah.
So I think it requires a lawsuit to fix this. That's the only way. Okay, listen to it here. Hear it? Okay, it sounds like it's coming from underneath the car. So if you guys know what this is, please let me know, or you can follow up on a lawsuit. I just had a click with the engine off, so it's definitely not the power steering, okay? It's something rubbing in here. Maybe it's the dome bearing? Is that the right word? The dome bearing? This thing from the shock up here? When he got out, and his entire weight relocated outside of the car, it clicked once, and when I rattled it here, it did click once. It's a suspension piece. Okay, checking the basics. No, that's not as easy. Because he just had these tires mounted.
It's not that.
No, they are tight. And they're not over tightened. I can feel them.
Yeah.
I can feel them move. Okay, I say we're gonna have to articulate it while driving. What do you say? That's where it's coming from. It's from the shock.
Oh no! That's what we assume, that it's the skid plate, because now it's gone. The noise is gone. And it could have been anything. Christian already in his mind purchased all bushings and
yeah, I already was getting ready
parts.
for a new power steering, new suspension, new everything, okay? We're gonna have to test drive it without the skid plate.
We fixed the problem. Unbelievable. And you guys, you're not gonna believe what just happened. The car moved on its own, uphill, not downhill, uphill. We were all outside, but Steffen did a rescue jump. Oh my God, it was. So we fixed it, and it's because everything was installed dry. So we're gonna loop everything, and it will not make any noise anymore. Yeah, that's how. That's how he moved outside with the open door, and the door didn't hit. Yeah, it's fixed, Christian. As long as it's lying there, it's fixed.
It's gone since we took off the underbody protection, and the bolts were unbelievable tight. Every single one, when I opened it, had aluminum chips falling down, okay? So I think they over tightened this, and it got somehow under crunching tension. We're gonna put some anti-seize now on there and tighten it like we usually do, just with like 1.5 clicks, and that's good enough.
I'm not gonna be able to sleep tonight, Christian.
The car suddenly just drove back like you have it in reverse. Shouldn't happen.
Or the lawyer put it in reverse. On accident, by accident.
That is a possibility.
It's a possibility, but if a lawyer does that, it's still Land Rover's fault. I got the underbody protection mounted again. The bolts were extremely tight, and what I did now is I put this stuff between the chassis frame and the underbody protection, okay? So if there was any kind of a micro movement, I hope it's quieting it. And then I tightened it to spec, and now we go for a test drive. So it got a heads-up display too. This is really cool, and the interior is a completely different ball game compared to my 2015 pre-facelift. This is really incredible, so I know what queen I gonna get me next. Love it. It's also having a different sound on the inside. It's always been my opinion that the 6-cylinder sounds better than the 8-cylinder. Anybody telling you that the 4.4 liter V8 has the better interior sound is wrong. It just doesn't. It does if you floor it, okay? Which is maybe once a day. Normal people don't floor their queens. But the 6-cylinder has like this relaxed sound to it. And no matter what, I feel that right away, it's more responsive because it's better from how the RPM is adjusted to the transmission. The 8-cylinder just runs too little RPM to be responsive. Again, this car has a new engine, okay? It was just put in. And I noticed that the second turbo stage is a little bit more powerful than normally on this one, at least compared to a Discovery. So you feel it at 2,800 how it gets a second boost. Queen doesn't do that. The Queen is all power right from the beginning, but it's not as responsive. You know, this one, it doesn't shift down to 1,000 RPM. See, I'm cruising and it stays at 1,500, which means I floor it and I have immediately power because the RPM is already high enough. That's very nicely done. And the interior is nice and it's also nicely dampened. I guess I need a younger Queen. So we changed the Queen to an older model, okay? And now Steffen is driving my V8. He already noticed just by leaving that the car is just noisier from the engine. It's not as cultivated. So we're up here at the highest point. That's where I drove Steffen's car and now he drove mine up here. So what's the verdict? Is it worth having the V8?
I would definitely say no. If you're out for a comfortable ride, but yet swift and with a quickness without brute force at any will, it's not worth it. The car shifts very, very late, which makes it uncomfortable.
I agree.
Of course, there's a difference in years, in age between mine and this car. The air ride, the suspension is different. This one is a little more rougher, so they put effort into it and some genuine engineering. They did a good job on that. The overall interior sound is way more dampened, way more quiet in the newer car.
Yeah, that's what I noticed too.
You can definitely say they never quit working on these cars and improving, even if the overall appearance is just about the same. So within these, I don't know, 5 to 7 years between the production year of this car and mine, they improved a lot of things.
Yeah. So I agree, and I always said this from the beginning, from day one when I got the V8. The V8 is not driving as nice as the V6. And everybody who got the V8, of course, will debate this. But I drove this one, and I drove many V6s, and this engine is just not a very quiet engine. And it takes significantly more diesel. It does have significantly more power, no doubt, but you don't need it in day-to-day driving.
You don't need as much power. It's not that the V6 diesel doesn't have any power. It's just sufficient power for every type of use you would need it for on the autobahn or even on streets like this when you want to overtake. It's a more comfortable ride, and you still have the power, any power you need if you're towing. If you want to take action and overtake somebody on a steep hill or whatever, it drives very responsive. I have to say that even our Discovery 4 with the 6-cylinder is more responsive than the V8. I think the V8 is good if you do some serious towing. If you do a lot of high-speed autobahn driving, it's the more robust engine. It doesn't snap any cranks. It has less bearing problems. So there are a lot of pluses for this engine, but ride quality is certainly not one of them. Just consider if you really want the V8 with the fireworks power, or if you want the V6 with the delegate power. Your choice. The Queen is still up for sale, okay? But I still have to do a couple of things. I can't sell it as it is. For example, I never changed the serpentine belt.
Oh my God.
Right? I got me this button here in case I work on a car without Vera. This way, everything I do can get the proper comment.
Oh my God.
We see if changing the serpentine belt is as easy as on a Toyota. I bet it is. Okay, we start here. We'll take those plastic covers here in the front out. At least that should be easy. There. Ooh, that was close.
Oh my God.
This baby just pulls right off. So removing the left-hand air filter intake pipe here. See, with a nice extension. Potentially not dropping the socket. This off and this off. Throw it somewhere in the vehicle, don't matter. And we take these off here. There we go. take this off. Okay, now my neighbors are using a Hilti because that's what we Germans do. Because we don't live in 2x4 homes. Our crap's built out of stone. Take this off right here. I'm taking this little hose clamp off here. Now I unlatch this and the whole thing comes out. As easy as on a Toyota. Now I should already be able to remove the belt now, but there's one more thing. See this bolt right here? This is the power steering line. I gotta disconnect that and move the power steering line out of the way. Properly called by Land Rover, relocate the power steering line. And then I should be able to fumble this belt out. Now I can relocate this hose, see? Only little problem is that I dropped this bolt here. Also, I want to make sure I'm not losing this bracket here, see? I better take that off. So I certainly hope I'm not going to break anything now.
Oh my God.
Untackle this belt here over the tensioner. Remove it off the pulley wheel and let the tensioner go carefully. Maybe I should first check if it matches my diagram. So here's my diagram. It goes from there over this big one, below this one, over here, and there on. Yeah, it matches.
Oh my God.
Okay. There. You know what? Before I fumble this belt in and out, it's like new. I'm gonna leave this belt in. There's no reason to change this. I don't have to be concerned. And belt goes back on. Sitting everywhere correctly, so everybody could see how easy that is. And if you don't drop the bolt from your power steering line down into the crevasse, this is a 10-minute job. Okay. Wow, I almost screwed up. This gotta go below this pulley wheel.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's better. Okay, not gonna have a failure now. Getting that bolt back in right here was much more difficult than I thought with this clamp and the rubbers and everything. Meaning if that would be a Toyota, the average mechanic would already stand in a corner and cry now. What do you want? I got you replaced.
Oh my God.
Click, click.
So remember guys, you're only allowed to wrench on a Range Rover if you earned the badge. We have earned the badge.
This is like the most important badge, okay? Even Chuck Norris called us if he can get this badge to work on his Range Rover.
It says so right here. What did you actually do?
I inspected the serpentine belt for any cracks. I had it off, inspected it, and I put it back on. This way I know how difficult it is, and if somebody asks a question, I can answer it properly. Otherwise, you know, somebody asks me, hey, can I get that serpentine belt off on my 4.4 Queen? I would have to say, I got actually no clue. Now I know it's much easier than on a Toyota.
But Christian,
What?
did we not install it?
no,
Because remember, we put
no.
the serpentine belt on our black mold roller.
You can keep on talking. No, we did not change it.
We didn't change it yet.
No,
Oh my God.
that's what.
Oh my God.
That's what I already said.
Yeah, we got the badge. We are able to change the serpentine belt. Most important tool.
Okay, now we get detailed shots again. That's good.
Yes.
See, this is back on. This is back on. Okay, crumbled it. There. I bungee corded it over here because
Yes,
I had
and you-
nobody to hold it.
Oh,
I
I'm
was
so
all
sorry.
Okay, this goes back on here. See?
Yes. I love my Milwaukee tool.
Good. Tight enough.
Yeah, now all you have to do is tighten the hose clamps.
I wouldn't know without you telling me.
Oh my God. I'm surprised he found that bungee cord without me.
It's all out of context. I didn't find the Queen protection. I don't know where that went.
Well, I certainly didn't put it away.
You know, if I don't find it and I ask you where it is, you say as an answer, I didn't put it away.
And look at that, we have a split. Oh my God.
No, this is all good enough. This is normal on a 10-year-old car, okay? We're gonna sell the Queen. The next owner wants to also do some things.
Yeah, I really doubt that, but well,
Or you think it will be a lawyer?
no, it won't be a lawyer. A lawyer will buy that baby new.
See, and I use a long piece.
Yeah, to stay away from work.
Okay.
So his hand didn't fit.
It fits. Think about somebody hears that out of context.
Good.
Got this tight.
Because if you didn't get it tight, we're gonna have a restricted performance fault, and we don't want that. Oh my God. I assume it's a brake fluid.
No, it's not.
What is it?
This is the A system, okay? So the hydraulic sway bar system. This car has an electric power steering. It has no power steering fluid. Couldn't be any more complicated, okay?
Oh my
That's
God.
why this car is not suitable for Toyota drivers, okay? You guys gotta drive your simple Toyotas, and complicated stuff is reserved for Range Rover and for Land Rover drivers, okay? That's just how the world is set up. The last piece, and we're done, was this repair, which wasn't really a repair, okay? It was just a checkup. And look how nice those are, okay? You just plug them in and you push down. Just making Toyota drivers all jealous. And this. And now, job is finished.
Good.
Now, if you get one of those oh my god buttons, you can also install it right here. And then it does that when you close the bonnet. Isn't that great? Okay, if you want one of those, you have to let us know what type of oh my god you want. Like the excited one, or the really shocking one, or the scared one, or the my engine never will start one, or if you want the snapped crankshaft one.
Oh my
okay?
God. The ad is online. Anybody who's looking for a 2015 Range Rover L405 autobiography can look up the ad at mobile.de. I'm so anxious to get moving on our Prince Charming. That baby has been neglected for so long now, partly because of the green, partly because of my Discovery 3. I think Robin's Mercedes also had a couple of problems. And the lift has been taken up until basically today. Yeah, let me show you what he forgot to clean. Oh my God.
Yeah, I gotta do that. I can't live with that. Look how this looks here. This looked horrible in the pictures, okay? Yeah, so we're back here on my Queen after this test drive we did together with Steffen on his newer L405 Queen. It was a harsh comparison because what I said about the V8, it is 100% clear to me that it is impossible to convince a V8 enthusiast that a 6-cylinder is better. And I agree with that, okay? But if you compare the harsh facts as a non-enthusiast, okay? As a Toyota, I shouldn't say that. As a driver who just puts fuel into a tank and turns a key or pushes a button and then utilizes a car for driving, I am correct, okay? And so is Steffen. The V8 does not give you the necessary advantage over the V6 for the comfort penalty you have to take. But as a V8 enthusiast, there is absolutely no way for me and for everybody else on the planet that a V6 is ever gonna be better than a V8, okay?
If we ever move back to the United States and we have the choice between a Discovery 3 or 4, V8 or V6, we're gonna choose the V8 because we are V8 enthusiasts.
There is one base rule in the US. Buy the biggest engine you can get. Okay?
Yes.
However, the V6 petrol is more reliable.
Reliability is completely overrated.
Reliability is something Toyota drivers need, okay?
Yeah.
Land Rover drivers, especially Range Rover Sport drivers, are so enthusiastic about their vehicle that if it breaks down, it's just like another challenge for them, okay?
Yes.
And they want to figure this out and they want to get it back on running. And most of them are not even car experts, okay?
Christian made me read the Range Rover Sport Facebook groups. And I have to say, I love them. They are so enthusiastic. These people are so happy that they own a Range Rover Sport. It's unbelievable. You know, when you read the Discovery Facebook groups, they are kind of always depressed and, oh no, another thing broke. And the Range Rover, oh my God, something broke on my car and I have a challenge now. It's like the thing to do for today is figure out what went wrong on my car. I love that group, and I'm even more open in buying a Range Rover Sport as a project car.
So that's thanks to the Range Rover L494 Facebook group, okay? In the L494 Range Rover Sport Facebook groups, that's where I already told you in a previous episode that they photograph the oil on the ground and not on the vehicle and ask what's wrong, okay? But this has nothing to do with intelligence, okay? The way you have to think about this is they are like kids becoming a teenager and entering puberty, okay? And then they discover something new on their body, which wasn't there before, and they go like, oh my God, what is this? I think I have to make a Facebook post about this. And that's why they photograph the oil on the ground, okay?
Yes.
But when you tell them, look, dude, you have to photograph up so we see where the oil is coming from, then they are, oh, is that right? What a good idea. Great. I will do this right away and send it here into the Facebook post again. You know, this is how they are. Not all of them, but some of them. Okay?
Yeah, most of them. So it's very entertaining. We read the Facebook groups in the morning when we have breakfast and drink our coffee. And now I talk all the time. And Christian does not like it.
It has only 2 parkings so far and 76 views. So I think it will take forever to sell this.
Yes.
So the L405 from 2015 we got here, of course, does not compare to the newer one what Steffen showed us, okay? His car is on the interior, just completely redone and much, much nicer than this version. But nevertheless, the L405 from 2015 is an extremely nice car. And this one is absolutely superb equipped. I got it absolutely spotless now. Everything is working. There are no fault messages. And as of today, it's not leaking any oil. I don't know how that is tomorrow, but as of today, there is no spot on the ground or anywhere I could photograph and post on Facebook. Hey, anybody ever had that before? Not possible. So I hope we're going to get a decent response here in Germany and we're going to be able to sell this car so that I can get a younger queen, I guess.
Oh my God.
Now, I did write into my ad that there is rim damage, okay, from the previous female driver. That's what I wrote, okay.
We don't know that.
You gotta tell the truth, it was a female driver. The soft close is working on all doors. Very important if you got a queen. So that's it for our video this week. A little bit of a shorter one, but about Range Rovers. At that time, I want to thank our patrons a lot for their support and...
We'll see you next Sunday.
Exactly.
Exactly.